Hey folks, I'm Pete and this is Pete's Eats Cooking Videos. This is something that every cook has to be able to make, chicken stock. And today's your lucky day because I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch and it's absolutely delicious. You make it from old bones, leftover vegetables. It's something from nothing and it's so beautiful. There's nothing nicer than taking a nice bowl of warm chicken stock to someone that's not feeling well. You can freeze it, pull it out when you need it. So let's begin. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. So here's what you're going to need to make the chicken stock. You're going to need some bones. I use old bones from chicken breasts that I've deboned, chicken wing tips that I've kept, and I freeze them all and save them, and I pull them all out and make chicken stock once I have enough. You're also going to need some veg. You're going to need celery, carrots, and onions. Those are the three absolute musts. Some parsley, garlic. I like putting parsnip. I happen to have some beans, so I'll throw some beans in, and also lettuce. I'm going to throw some lettuce in. In terms of spices, salt, pepper, there's this lovely herbivore mixture I love to use. It's delicious, it's healthy. Also, I'm going to throw a little bit of thyme in there. The only thing with this is you don't want to put anything that's going to really drastically change the flavor, like something really strong, like maybe some hot peppers or something like that you want to avoid. And also there's something that might give it an off color, like eggplant will turn it sort of a dishwater brown. You want to avoid those. But otherwise, the sky's the limit. So let's begin. Okay, I'm going to put some of the chicken pieces in. These are chicken breast remnant pieces from deboning the chicken breasts. And you want to put a good quarter to a half a pot of bones in. So these are all bones. Away you go. Tons of bones in there. And then I do have the odd, I bought a couple of thighs and chicken legs as well that I'll throw in. This is not necessary. There's no need to have this meat in the stock as far as I'm concerned. There you go. So that's it. That's a good quarter pot full of chicken bones. I'm going to fill it up with water, salt it, and then I'll put it on the boil. Okay, so I've filled it up, the pot with water. You'll notice that the water's quite clear, and the reason for that is I made a really good job of rinsing all those pieces really well and trying to get rid of any sort of coagulated blood and stuff. So now I'm going to turn it on pretty high. I want to get this up to a boil, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of salt. You need a good amount of salt in there. Good 2 tablespoons of salt. And I'm going to bring that up to a boil. And this is a key step now. As it comes to a boil slowly, we're going to have to skim the top of it. Okay, so you can see this is coming up to a boil. It's not quite there yet. And as it does, you got this scum that forms on top. So you want to get rid of that. So I have a little strainer that I'll run along the top and do my best to collect. And then I'll just take a little bowl and put it over the bowl. And I'll get rid of it in the sink, and then I'll come back and get more. So this is a process you want to do for about 5 minutes or so as it's coming to a boil to get rid of as much of that scum as possible. This has now come to a nice rolling boil, and I've been skimming the scum off the top, and it's nice and clear. It looks like it's pretty good to go. So now I'm ready to put my veg in, my onions. And the thinner you can slice the onions, the better, so the more surface area. So there's 1 big onion. And then I also have carrots and parsnips. Also some garlic cloves, I'll throw those in there. For sure the celery. Now when you put the celery in, make sure to include the celery leaves. And a little bit of lettuce. We're getting pretty full here. And some of the beans. That looks pretty good. Of course, a little bit of parsley. So the parsley I just put in whole like that. And I'll watch it. I filled it up pretty high, so I'll watch it while it sort of simmers down. I'm going to put some whole peppercorns in. So there's some whole peppercorns, about a teaspoon. I'm going to put a couple of bay leaves. You can use the smaller, kind of dodgier ones that you wouldn't normally use. So there's 1, 2, 3 bay leaves, a couple sprigs of thyme. So there's the thyme, and some herbivore. This is a really, really lovely spice. It's like a salt that's really healthy and organic. So I'm going to put some of that in there too. And later I will test to see, gee, I'm almost out. I got to get another bottle of that. And later I'll check to taste the saltiness. And that's really just about it. So now it's got to simmer. It's got to simmer for a good 2 hours. until the meat is just about falling right off the bone, maybe even 3 hours. Once it comes to a boil, I'll turn the heat right down and let that simmer. And this is gonna be absolutely delicious. So here you go. This has been boiling for about 2.5 hours. And you can see the meat is like almost coming right off the bone. And so what I want to do is take this soup out of here. I'm going to strain it through. I got about 3 layers of cheesecloth here and a sieve. So I'm going to just take this out and put it through and strain it. We have a beautiful broth. And so there you go. I'll strain this out and we'll show you the final product in a few minutes. So here's the final stock, a beautiful stock. A couple of things about this. You definitely want to adjust the salt level. I bet it will need salt. There's a little rogue piece of parsley in there. And also you want to watch the fat. See, there's some little globules of fat on top. That's excellent. It really adds a lot to the flavor. But if there's too much fat, if you have a huge skim of fat, then you can just skim that right off. You don't want too much fat. Now, if I was to eat this right now, which I'm going to in a second, I'm going to have a bowl, I would put some carrots in it, and just carrots and stock, maybe a little bit of rice, and that would be a fabulous bowl of soup, just like that. Here you go. Here's the chicken stock. You are not going to believe when you try this how easy it is and how delicious it is. You can have a bowl of soup right away. You can freeze it, use it for other soups as a base. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. And it's made from scraps. Are you kidding me? This is fabulous. Enjoy!